So if I get on the cover of Men's Health magazine, I will be the first transgender male on the cover of Men's Health magazine.
Wow,
ever.
that would be amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, it would be phenomenal, just phenomenal.
Okay, so I think this is obviously Bruce Jenner opened this whole world up to a lot of people, and we're all just learning about what that means. And so explain transgender to everyone.
So a really basic understanding of transgender would just be you're born, your biological gender is one, and you identify as the other. So for example, I was born biologically a female, yet my soul identifies as a male.
Okay, so at what age did you realize this? You were gay for a while. You were a lesbian for a while.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and then did you know then? Did you feel different being a lesbian? Then you thought, well, it's going to be the next step.
Yeah, for sure. So I kind of had a little different story of most transgender people. I feel like some people will say that they identified at a really young age, but I didn't quite have that. I came out as a lesbian as early as 13, but I didn't come out officially to friends and family until I was about 17.
And how were your parents when you said you were gay? Were they okay with you being a lesbian?
Yes. A funny quick story is when I was in 3rd grade, I told my mother that I had a crush on someone, and the first question she asked me was, is it a boy or a girl? So she must have known something was up.
Well, good for her for being open-minded and asking that question and not assuming. Okay, so you came out to your family when you were 16, and then why did you feel like you weren't really a lesbian?
It just felt like something didn't fit. Like, it felt like I was a lesbian only because I was a girl who liked girls. So that was the title that was put on me rather than the title that I felt that I identified with. So I was actually just driving home one day with an ex-girlfriend of mine, and she kind of turned to me one day, and I was around the age of 20, and she said, have you ever thought of being a boy? And I was just kind of like, I don't know. What are you asking me that question for? I'm not sure, you know. I didn't really know where it's coming from. So I went home that night, and her voice kind of stuck in the back of my head. That question just, you know, do you want to be a boy? Do you want to be a boy? Just kept rolling through my head. And so, of course, I took to Google, and I started Googling, you know, girl that becomes a boy, or how to grow up to be a man. And the internet just engulfed me, and I was just, for the next, 48 hours, it was videos and links and articles and everything was just totally involved.
I think I have to say at this point, I think people's fear of like, oh my God, if it's just floating out there, then my child is going to just look on the internet and become a different gender. I don't think it works that way, just in case anybody's worried about the internet.
Not at all.
I don't think you can become gay. I don't think you can become anything. Nobody, you are what you are. So I don't want people, because it sounds like, once you started seeing that made you become a male, but that's not what happened.
No, it was more like that was the missing puzzle piece. Everyone said I was a lesbian, but I had this missing spot, and I was like, okay, it all looks right, but something's not right. And then once I found out what emotionally it meant to be transgender, that was it. I was like, this is my ticket. This is the piece. I had no idea because I didn't even know it existed.
Right.
And
you feel more true to yourself right now.
Oh, yes. I feel like today, sitting with you right now, I'm at my most authentic self than I've ever been in my whole life.
And, well, that's all that matters.
Yeah, definitely.
So, wow. So you tell your parents you're lesbian at 16, and so they are open-minded and they accept that, which is wonderful. Then at what age do you say, oh, and by the way, now I'm going to be transgender? That's you also, right?
Oh, yes, that's me.
So how did they take that when you told them that?
So I came out to my mother first, and I had a lot of guilt with that because I felt she had 2 sons already, and I felt like I was robbing her of her only daughter. I had a lot of guilt for it. When I actually came out to her, I always joked that I cried more than she did. And luckily, in some sense, she is open-minded, and she's been a nurse for 30-some years, so she had dealt with transgender people before. So she knew kind of the base of it, so that was really safe and nice. And then when it came out to my father, I wasn't quite as close to my father, so I was really nervous that this was gonna be could be a breaking point. This could be
because they were divorced.
They were divorced, yes, at a young age, and I had seen him like every other weekend kind of style, and I was really nervous that this was going to be something that could make him just kind of,
And how was he?
And he he came around. It was hard for him at first, but there was a defining moment in my life when I got married to my beautiful wife, Jane Lee, and yes, hi.
Hi.
And so I think when he saw me walking down the aisle as a husband, as a groom with my wife on my side, I think that's when he, you know, he couldn't not see me as his son anymore.
Right.
You know, I couldn't be his daughter. I was only his son, and that was a really amazing
So you're
time
close
for me.
now?
Yes. Oh,
Great,
so
that's
much
amazing.
closer.
So you decided you wanted to be on Men's Health magazine when?
So last year when I learned about Noah Galloway, I was like, oh, that's really cool. I would love to do that. But when the contest came around, I was really kind of nervous, you know? I mean, look at him. He looks ripped and everything. So, but I had gotten about 2 or 3 emails, and within like a 24-hour, 48-hour time frame, and they were all saying, like, you've got to try out for this. You have all the requirements. You'd have people supporting you, and these were other trans men in the community. And so I was like, you know what? I asked my wife, and I was like, should I do this? You know, I'm kind of nervous.
You look great. So you've been working out like crazy to do this, right? Because
yes, yes. So I've been working out for the last like 5 years of my life. Yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle.
Yeah, so if you get this, you're going to continue to work out like crazy.
Oh,
obviously.
for sure. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So you're currently in first place.
Yes.
And so so many people are supporting you and want you on the cover. That's got to feel really, really good.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's an amazing feeling. So much support. Like, I think if there's one thing you want in life is to do your own thing, to live your authentic self, right? And when you have people who back you up and say, you're doing a good job, you're doing really good, you're just like, you feel great, you know what I mean? And I feel so happy that so many people are supporting. We have like, heteronormative people all the way down the line of like gender fluid people who are supporting, because, you know, being on that cover will question, you know, the new average. You know, like, what is average? You know? And I think it breaks that barrier.
Well, I think what you said is key. I think everybody wants to live their authentic self, and they're scared to do it because not too many people, when you're going against what mainstream society says, gets that support. So when you actually have the courage to do it regardless if you're going to get that support or not, that's the first most amazing step you can take in your life. But then to have the support of people that say, yes, you're doing the right thing, it's amazing. And I'm really proud of you, and I think you're amazing. It's so nice meeting you. If you want to learn more about the transgender community, log on to our website.